Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and here we talk about simple living on a budget. Today I'm going to be talking about my plans to move out of my parents' house. A quick background on the topic: I'm 25 years old. I've been living with my parents for almost 2 years now. I went to college away. Then I lived on my own for a year, and then I ended up coming back because I had accumulated $166,000 of student loan debt, and moving back in with my parents was going to be the fastest way for me to pay off all of that money. I've now been living here for 2 years. I've paid off over $25,000 of that student loan debt. I've also cash flowed a master's degree and saved for a car so that I can pay for it in cash. With all of that being said, I've done some amazing things and I'm so grateful for the opportunities that my parents have blessed me with in this time. And because I'm going to be 26 by the end of 2020, I am contemplating moving out because I've been here for 2 years. By the time I move out, it'll probably be closer to 2.5 or 3 years, and I'm just ready for my own space to live on my own again and still accomplish my financial goals within a reasonable time frame, but do it while I'm actually paying for all of my own bills. So in order to move out, you have to pick a time frame that you're looking at. So be realistic with yourself. So I will hit 2 years living at home with my parents in August 2020, which seems like it's far away, but honestly it's not. And then I actually do live somewhere where it snows a decent amount all winter and deep into the spring. It was actually snowing here this morning pretty hard, so I don't really want to move out in the winter. I don't really want to shovel snow, so if I can prolong that a year, I'm 100% going to do that. So I'm probably looking at moving out in the spring of 2021, being realistic with myself and what I can afford financially and how it's going to fit into my financial goals and my budget. I would like to stay home for at least another year before I move out. Even though this is still far away, it's something on my horizon, so it's something that I'm looking at my budget for. So I'm looking at how it's going to affect my debt-free journey, how far it's going to push me back paying off my debt, if I can pick up jobs now to make up that difference. I'm trying to consider all of my options because I'm looking at how much it's going to cost. So I live in a relatively low-cost city, and I live on the outskirts, far on the outskirts of the city, so my cost of living is pretty cheap out here. So I would like to stay relatively close to where I'm at now because I'd be able to find an apartment, probably everything included, for around $600 a month or less if I found a 2-bedroom place and got a roommate. So when I'm budgeting for myself $600 max, I am talking about the rent, utilities, internet, everything included. I do not want to spend more than $600 a month. I'd be really happy if that $600 also included my grocery budget because I currently don't spend a lot of money on groceries. I just pick up supplemental stuff living at home. So really trying to go all inclusive, every single thing that I spend for the month down to $600. The next tip that I have is to really look at what you can afford. Look at what you can afford to cut out of your budget. Look at how that changes your financial goals and your trajectory for either debt freedom or FIRE or anything that you're trying to do. And so I am looking at moving out, maybe adding 6 months to my debt-free journey, which may or may not seem like a lot, but I will be on my debt-free journey for 4 years at a minimum. So an extra 6 months to me kind of seems like a lot because I'm already on a really long path and I don't want to prolong it too much. So I'm really going to look at how can I cut other costs, how can I earn more money, ways for me to close that gap. So make sure when you consider moving out that you're looking at the total of all the expenses. Don't just look at the baseline cost for rent. You need to look at what utilities are included. Are you going to have to pay for internet? Is it going to add extra commute time onto your drive for work? So that's more time you either can't be working somewhere else or you're spending more money on gas. So adding all of those things up, make sure that you look at what the total cost is for moving out instead of just the baseline price that's advertised. The final thing that I'm doing, and that if you're looking to move out of your parents' house that I would highly recommend, is only looking within your budget. Don't look at the apartments that are brand new that cost $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom place. That is so expensive where I live. I know in some places that's probably a steal, but for me where I live, that is so expensive. So if I spend more than $400, $600 a month, like that would be way too much for me. But A lot of times that is proportional to what you make, so just take all of that in consideration, but only look at what you can afford. Don't kid yourself. Don't kind of give yourself that little teaser where you're looking at what's more expensive, what would be nice to have. If you're paying off debt or you're living life on a tight budget because you're saving for something important, then just understand that this whole season is temporary and that eventually you'll be able to pay for a house, which is the end goal for most people, I'm sure. Hope you guys enjoying these little tips. These are all the things that I am looking at when I am thinking about moving out, and even though it is on a pretty far out timeline, it's really important that I consider everything because I want to make a financially wise decision for myself. If you guys enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.